Beasties. I'm Karin Whitnish, otherwise known as BATB Passion.
And I am Janeen, J. Cole on Facebook and at Janeen on Twitter.
And we may be a little more spontaneous or informal tonight. It's my daughter's 21st birthday and we're at the penthouse suite of a hotel here in Melbourne. Things haven't quite gone according to plan. We're a little behind schedule, but we're going to manage it. And we've had a couple of glasses of champagne, but that's okay too. Anyway, we're here to talk about episode 14 of, what was it?
Beauty and the Beast.
Season 2. Yeah, I think it was Beauty and the Beast. Season 2.
Episode 14.
Episode 14.
Redemption.
It's called Redemption. And there was a lot to like about this episode. And
Something
I think
we both need a lot of today.
What's that?
Redemption.
Yeah, okay. I'll go along with you on that. So this one may be a little funnier than usual. And it may not be intentional either. Anyway, I actually got a lot out of this episode.
Yes.
Because I saw a lot in relation to Catherine. As you all know, both of us have had our question marks as far as Catherine's character is concerned this year. And in this one, a lot of beasties on social media have been complaining that they like Catherine even less after this episode.
I don't understand why.
But oddly enough, it had the complete opposite effect. Up until episode 14, I didn't get Catherine.
Me too.
I didn't get her behaviour. I thought she was out of character. I thought she was being mean. But it has come up on social media, and my explanation for it is that for the first time this week, I saw her in a turmoil in her out of character behaviour. In the fact that she went hot, cold, understanding, not understanding, Vincent, Gabe. She was literally all over the shop this week, and that's what brought home to me that that's her own form of turmoil. See, it's easy for Vincent in this show, and nothing to discredit Jay Ryan because he does it beautifully, and he did it again this week. But we know when he's struggling within himself because he goes beastly. The eyes go golden, the teeth change, the face changes. It's in some ways easier for us to recognise he's fighting himself internally because he changes into the beast.
Yes.
He did that with Tori. He's done that when Catherine shot him. So in those really important, pivotal moments, he changed. So it was easy for us to see what he was doing right, what he was doing wrong. But as far as Catherine was concerned, because she's human and doesn't have that advantage, I hadn't seen it until this episode. And her turmoil in this episode spoke to me of the hell that she's going through. And now I understand her way better. This is what she has to go through to hit the low before she can come back to Vincent like he's coming back to her.
Well, yes, but you also have to remember that Catherine's character is a very strong-willed, emotionally shut-off person.
Yes.
So all of her tells are in her facial expressions.
Yeah, you're right.
So if you're not looking at that facial expression at the time that something has been said, you're going to miss what Catherine's all about.
Yeah, that's
because
exactly right.
It's the rolling of the eyes, it's the squinting of the eyes, it's the tightening of the mouth and the lips and things like that. Catherine's character is very closed off emotionally from everything, except Vincent. And it's only when she gets around Vincent that you see her eyes soften, you see her mouth soften.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You see her look with admiration towards him, even when they're not, on the same level per se, there's always this softening of Catherine's features when she looks to Vincent. And so this whole Catherine and Gabe thing, I'm going to be the first to admit, I can't stand the whole story.
I must admit.
But I'm going to live a little bit in denial and pretend that what's happening behind the scenes that we don't see, which thank God is nothing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm going to live a bit in denial of that. But if you have a look at her facial expressions when she looks at Gabe, as opposed to her facial expressions when she looks at Vincent,
totally different.
They're totally different. When she looks at Vincent, he totally absorbs her whole being.
Yeah, true.
She looks at him with everything, with her body, with her eyes, with her everything about Catherine is absorbed in Vincent. But with Gabe, she looks at him, but she doesn't look at him with her eyes. And I know that's really hard to explain, but her body language is there, but her eyes are shut.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Not figuratively or literally shut. I mean that figuratively, not literally.
Yes.
Yeah, her eyes are shut to him. She doesn't smile with the whole face.
You raised a good point while we were watching it tonight, in that you get the sense with Catherine that she and Gabe have been with each other for years.
Yeah.
And it's like it's perfunctory. It's like, oh, honey, I'm home.
Yeah, the
come
interaction
in,
between
kiss
the
on the
two.
cheek.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
I feel like I said to Karin actually that when you watch Katherine and Vincent together, you feel like you're intruding on
very
an
much
intimate
so.
moment. Like, like you can't wait to see it, and you want to see it, and it's just like, give me more. But on the same token, it's like, oh my god, I feel like a peeping Tom.
Yeah. Somebody else raised that on Twitter this week. That they feel like they're intruding on their personal lives.
With Vincent with Katherine and Gabe, I feel like I'm watching Steve and I.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you for the day. Yeah, good. What's for tea? Oh, who knows? What's in the fridge? No, it's all really...
Yeah, it's very perfunctory, very obligatory. And it's interesting because as a couple, they've been together for literally days.
Yeah, and if some couple have been together for days, I mean, it's like you literally feel like you could pry them apart.
Yeah, they don't.
And you
normally,
have
a new
to
couple
cut the essence between them.
Don't keep their hands off each other.
Yeah.
Vincent and Katherine couldn't keep their hands off each other. But Gabe and Katherine, it is really perfunctory. So the Beasties that are saying, "Oh my God, I could throw up and vomit." Yeah, I can understand that sentiment. I could too, but I'm seeing, like you, I'm seeing beyond that and seeing the obligatory nature of that relationship, and I'm going, you know what? I can see it already.
Yeah.
And there were some really telling signs in that episode, but I liked it from the point of view that I saw that Katherine's feelings for Gabe were like nothing compared to how she feels about Vincent.
She's very guarded around Gabe. Have you noticed that she doesn't talk to him about everything? She doesn't open up to Gabe like she does to Vincent.
Yeah.
And even at the very beginning, the telling sign is when she says, she's talking to Tess in the cafe, and Cass says, "You called him Vincent?" Please. I was saying to you earlier in the week that Catherine Ashton had said that this was a game changer.
Before you go any further with that,
I'm not going any further with that right now.
Before you go further with that,
I'll have a drink
because I want you to go further with that. We're predicating that on the fact that quite a few people on social media, one of the things that we do or try to do before we get to do these video reviews is read everybody else's reviews.
Yes.
And we also try to get a sense of where people are in this episode. And which way does the camera go? Does it go to the left? So if I look that way, do I look as though I'm looking at the camera?
I don't know.
Okay.
But all I know is that
look at me.
When you're on screen, when we're on screen, like on YouTube, we've swapped.
Yes.
Because I'm actually on the side that Karin is when we're taping this.
True. Anyway, we digress. But the reason that we... really? We're not good at that. No. We never digress. And that's the reason that we talk about the game changer is that quite a few, and I noticed on Twitter in particular, were tweeting Catherine Ashton saying, "Catherine, you wouldn't know a game-changing episode if you fell over it because that wasn't a game-changing episode." And yet, for me, especially from Catherine's point of view, this was a major game-changing episode. And for a lot of Beasties, that final end scene of the nightmare that Catherine had was the obvious game-changer for those that saw it. Because we all realised that Catherine's nightmare was all about the horror of not having Vincent in her life. And that was a hell of a scene, and it was a hell of a shock. But the episode was a lot more than that as far as game changers concerned.
Every turn.
And that's where Janeen is going to take the floor and tell us what those game changers were.
Look, I wrote notes just in case I forgot, because it's been a few days.
And then after we've done the game changers and a little bit later,
yeah.
I'm actually going to read an article. It goes for a few minutes, but that's cool. I think it's going to help a lot of Beasties with the season 2 arc.
Oh, that
article called Epiphany was brilliant from Irene in Sweden. We're going to read that out because I think that's going to help a lot of Beasties put season 2 into perspective.
Yes.
But the floor to you because it was a game-changing episode, Catherine Ashton. You're so right.
Oh, look, everywhere that I watched this episode, I remember thinking, excuse me, the first time I talked to you about it, I'd only seen it once. And I've just read, Karen's gone. Oh, Catherine's copping a bit of flack on Twitter about it not being a game changer, and I've gone, what are you talking about? There was a game change. Nearly every single scene was a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to start with, it was a game changer in that Vincent recognised that he could live his life as a doctor again. He was told by Dr. Marcus that he was the best intern that he'd had, and he was instinctive, and Vincent changed the game for Vincent because he realised that he could do this again.
Absolutely.
That
and
he
it
could
felt right to him.
And it felt right to him. It changed for Vincent in the fact that he's decided that I want to be more man than beast.
Yeah, that was huge for Vincent.
Last week he was still
prevaricating between the two.
Vincent trying to be the right man for Catherine, but not recognising that to be that right man for Catherine, he had to
be the right man for
himself first.
Correct. What did I just say? Well, we had to sort out teenagers. It is a 21st birthday, so, you know. Anyway, where did we get to?
We were talking about game changing.
Yes, game changers, that's right.
Yeah, but I've lost my train of thought now.
I know, that's a bit... No, you were talking about Vincent.
I was talking about Vincent, right.
Talking about the fact that he knows he can be a doctor.
Yes.
And that last week he was still prevaricating between being human and beast.
You speak freaking English, man.
It is English. It's the
Well,
English that comes out of my mouth.
Don't speak such big words.
Oh, no, I can't promise you that.
Because dummies like me don't understand.
No, there's nothing dummy about you. Anyway, human-beast fight within... That was still apparently...
I know where I was, sorry.
Okay, cool.
So it was a game changer in the fact that Catherine actually acknowledged via a facial expression that she did use Vincent to her own purposes. Now,
true.
She's always done that.
Yeah, and we haven't always liked her for it.
No, but it's on a visceral level for Catherine. She doesn't realise just how much she relies on Vincent to help her day to day, get herself out of triggers and stuff like this.
Yep.
So when our mate, our buddy, our pal, JT, turns around and says, you know, it's pretty hard to be Dr. Jekyll when everyone wants Mr. Hyde.
That was brilliant, by the way. Austin loved it.
But Catherine's face is just, it's like the light globe went off in her eyes and went, oh my God, he's right. Because the whole way, Catherine needed Vincent and she acknowledged that she needed Vincent in order to save Gabe. So, when later on we have the game changer in that Gabe is giving the ultimatum to Kat.
Yep.
She's thinking to herself, and once again you can see it in her facial expressions, how can you say he's just a beast? Because he's not. He has saved your life twice now.
And actually, that was one of the things that annoyed me about this episode, is that Gabe didn't acknowledge it. He thanked Catherine for saving him, but without Vincent.
Yeah, but
Kat wouldn't have been able to save him.
No,
let's put it that way.
Absolutely
without
true.
Vincent. So he should have thanked Vincent.
But God forbid,
as well.
I'm actually going to defend Gabe for a moment here. All right. Oh my God.
That's what I love about you. You're impartial, which is great.
Gabe has just had the threat of him becoming a beast again.
True. And she didn't want to.
So all he's seeing is beast, because his beast is different to Vincent's beast.
Yes, correct.
But Vincent and Gabe on a intellectual level knows that Vincent is different and Vincent is special.
Yes.
And I'm going to go there a little bit further on that. But Gabe's all about, oh my God, I don't want to be a beast, I don't want to be a beast, because he can't control it.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct, he can't.
So, my question is this. Game changer. We've now realised that Sam put something into the serum to make it impossible for whomever it is that he turns into a beast to remember what it is that they've done.
Which is what Gabe suffered from before.
But he can also control them.
Yes, correct. Correct.
He can't control Vincent, and Vincent remembers everything that he has done.
Yes, correct.
So Vincent, apart from being a beast, is a special kind of beast.
Correct.
Hence, going back to bad daddy in jail, saying that Catherine had to kill all the beasts, especially Vincent. There is something special about Vincent's beast.
That I think we'll find out more about later on.
Absolutely.
In the season.
So game changer in that Gabe is acknowledging his beast and his badness.
Yes.
And not being able to see that Vincent is different.
Yeah, true.
Although he can see it, he doesn't want to acknowledge that Vincent's beast is different. Because as he says to Catherine, but he's still a beast. And Catherine saying, you don't really believe that. So there was that was a game changer. The other one is, you realise that Gabe didn't thank Vincent for helping save his life. She didn't like that. Okay, she didn't stand up and say, well, hang on a minute, Gabe, Vincent helped here.
Yes.
But she didn't like it, and that was, once again, her facial expressions that were going,
hang on a minute.
Yeah, it wasn't just me.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, the game changer in that Catherine has realised that for the first time she didn't think of Jacob as a human.
That's right.
She's always thought of, oh my God, I'm shooting a human first, and she didn't. So that's something that Catherine has to now acknowledge, and she has to now sit with and go and analyse and think, hang on a minute, who am I to be able to do that?
Yep. And it also compares her to Vincent.
Absolutely.
Because she was always against Vincent, since he's come back from being kidnapped.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Since he's come back from being kidnapped, she's decried him for being more beast than human.
One moment, please.
But now she's realising that maybe some of his choices weren't that clear cut.
Yes.
Maybe, just maybe, he had a reason for behaving the way
Well,
that he did.
I don't know if it's sort of maybe he had a reason. She's always known that in Vincent's mind he had a reason. Now she understands what that reason was.
Exactly.
Whereas before she didn't understand how can he shoot someone or how can he kill someone and not acknowledge that that person is a beast. Game changer. Catherine now knows what that feels like.
So, and they were on opposite footing this week. She saw the beast first, the human second. He saw the human first and the beast second. So they've done a complete
changeover. Game changer.
There was so many game changers in this episode.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly thought the first time I watched it, Redemption, okay, the redemption's all about Vincent. But you know, the redemption was about everybody in this episode.
Yeah, true. Catherine and Vincent in particular.
But redemption, Vincent's redemption of the fact that he's trying to be good for Catherine. Catherine's redemption, the fact that she can now see Vincent's side. Redemption for Catherine, that she can acknowledge that Gabe's
I don't think she's gone quite that far yet.
Let
me
me
suspect in
put the
episode
words in
15. Yeah, well, we'd all like to put those words in there now. Look, I get it.
Right,
look, because there's this part of me, because we've talked about this before too, is that tit for tat.
Have we?
Whether we like it or not, whether it's real or not, well, actually it is. Tit for tat does happen in relationships. When we have fights with our partners, we bring up things that the other person did years ago. It is quite normal, though, for people to do it. You might be different. I'm abnormal? Yeah, you're probably, but abnormal in a really good way. But it is not that unusual for people to bring up things that...
human nature is tit for tat. Yeah. It's human nature to sort of one-upmanship.
So, for me, for the beasties that are going, oh my God, Kat and Gabe, for me, I reckon it's a great thing because it negates Vincent and Tori. Because in the future, if Kat and Vincent ever have a fight and Kat says to Vincent, Tori, and he'll just go, yeah, but Gabe, the bloke that tried to kill me, kidnap you, and tried to kill you when he was a beast. Hello, I reckon that trumps Tori any day of the week. And she's just going to stand there and go, okay, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, but see, I would like to think that Vincent's bigger than that and doesn't bring back into the past her mistakes.
But that would only be if she raised it first.
Yes, but I would still like him to be the bigger person and not bring it back.
I would like him to be the bigger person.
Because, once something's happened, it's done, you deal with it. Yeah, but you don't bring it back in 20 minutes.
The one thing we've realised about Vincent this season
is he's hot.
Naked from the waist up. Yes. Okay, there was that. We're going to get to that.
Nice. Well done, Catherine Ashton. I love your costumes this week.
Yeah, okay, there is that. But let's face it. I mean,
All right, swing a mirror and I will face it. Stand in front of me and I will face it. In a heartbeat.
Okay, stop now. He's human. He's also... And that, look, a lot of beasties, for a long time, Vincent season 1 put him on a pedestal, and when he fell off it, for the first half of season 2, for them, okay. I'm not talking about you and I'm talking about them, social media, all the crap that we've read all of this season, because Beasties didn't like season 2, and I'm going to get to the perspective in a minute, that part of that was because for a lot of them Vincent fell off the pedestal that they unjustifiably had him on. And I like the fact that he's more human Vincent with more foibles and insecurities, but still tough, menacing beast Vincent at the same time. So tit for tat works for me. Gets his ass kicked, has to think about things, is insecure again. I mean, he's the Vincent we all know and love with a great edge. He's Vincent 3.0.
There's absolutely nothing Vincent would do that I wouldn't love.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm thinking...
And we've been called out on that before. I know. A lot of us that are on what they perceive as Team Vincent have been called out on that. And I love Catherine most of the time.
I will argue this point.
Okay.
I'm only Team Vincent because I'm not looking at Vincent's actions as a personal affront.
Yeah, I agree with you there, totally.
So, I'm Team Vincent because I see the fact that that Vincent has been mistreated. He's been mind-washed. He's had someone come along who amplifies everything and plays with his mind, and he doesn't really know what's going on. I'm not Team Vincent because it's Jay Ryan playing Vincent. Let me just put that straight. I'm not Team Vincent because he's good-looking, hot, and naked from the waist up. No, I'm looking at it.
That's just an added bonus.
Yeah, I'm Team Vincent because of the fact that he's
the ultimate victim.
Is the ultimate victim in this.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't matter if it had been Austin Bates playing Jay Ryan's character. I would be pro JT.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got nothing to do with it being J Line.
No, I agree
Full
with you.
stop, exclamation mark.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Anyway,
so
I'll get off my pedestal now.
And how was JT this episode?
Awesome.
JT, look, I mean, I'm going to read them out to you because there were few.
It's
hard. No, not this bit. Not this bit. Now you stay up. Hard to be Dr. Jekyll when everyone wants Mr. Hyde.
Yes.
And I loved it when he was trying to give Vincent the pep talk about Sam, and he's going, "It's okay, because you can take him down." Bam! I loved the way he did that. I loved Beast straight. I loved Beast cold turkey. I mean, JT, Austin, you get all the best lines. This is why we love you.
Yeah.
And I loved it when he just blew his nose.
Yeah.
When Catherine said, when Vincent asked Catherine how was the trip to Mexico, and she said caliente, which means hot. So. But
I'm going with hot temperature wise.
Yeah, same.
There is no other hot.
Yeah, there is no other hot with Gabe because she's not exhibiting cold. I love JT's response by blowing his nose. Yeah. That was really good. I love the secret little smiles between Tess and JT.
JT sits down
Nina,
next to Tess.
Austin, we need more JT and T.
Yes.
Desperately need more. That was just so cute. There was a lot of subtext in this episode that I really enjoyed, but there was also a lot of obvious angst, which I really enjoyed as well.
I want Beasties to watch the show with their ears and their eyes.
Yes. Absolutely.
So don't just listen to what's going on with your ears. Listen with your eyes as well, because there's so much that isn't being said in the glance.
Yeah.
And I think this whole show is about the fact that what you can look at it on just what you're
superficial
seeing,
level.
Superficial level of this is what's happening week by week by week. But then you can look at it with everything else.
That's because of the caliber of the actors.
Yeah,
they're able to portray the
subtext
as
well.
Yes.
Listen with your eyes. That's what I'm going to say, not just your ears.
Yep, exactly. I couldn't agree more. So I think that's the episode.
I think so.
Mostly. Look, I had problems with Sam, and you actually explained it not too badly. He is a sociopath, so he doesn't have the empathy that we would expect from a human being.
Of people we know.
Because his response.
No, his response. You've got to also remember
about Dana and about all of that was so smug. The smirk on his face. I wanted to slap it off.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that he's been away from Dana. So his mind, Dana's gone.
Yeah, true. Very true.
So the fact that he's and in that time he was so consumed with getting revenge for his son, he didn't know anything about it because all Sam / Tony Barnes is thinking at the moment is revenge for his son's death.
So who does he know?
It's totally consuming.
So Muirfield was obviously involved in the clinical trials on Sam's son, or an offshoot of Muirfield.
Can I tell you what I think about the whole Muirfield? It's confusing.
Oh, it is confusing.
Because we've had Muirfield 30 years ago.
Yes.
We've had Muirfield 15 years ago.
We've
had Muirfield 6 years ago.
Yes.
And we've had Muirfield 10 years ago, and it's like, I don't think it's Muirfield at all.
Muirfield is just maybe a front or an offshoot of whatever the larger organisation or secret society happens to be.
Yeah,
I know that's a complicated one.
And we'll get to that. I don't know why something that is supposed to be the crux of what it is that is the evil of the show is so confusing.
I suspect because there's more to it.
But Muirfield is changing all along.
But I suspect
15 years ago.
But to me, actually, that makes sense because Muirfield.
Well, explain it.
Okay, Muirfield as an entity have only been around for a relatively short time frame in the scheme of the whole beast thing, because we're going back to the Pliocene era with the skeleton that they found, the jewel, the collar. So I think that was the forefather of everything, and you may find that there were different societies down through the years, and then other people got wind of that, and there have been different offshoots.
So you think they're referring it to Muirfield, but it wasn't actually Muirfield?
Exactly.
Right, okay, I've got it now. That makes sense.
So there's a major lead, possibly secret society behind it that are the originals,
it's called
so
Forever
to speak.
Beasties, Janeen Hayes and Karin Janeen.
Yeah, that's us.
We're the big evils.
Yeah, we're the big evils. No,
No, I get it now.
Yeah, and then you're always going to have people that are going to hear of this and that are going to have their own agenda and do their own thing. Yeah. So Muirfield was one of those.
Okay, yeah.
With Muirfield Senior, which was Zhao's father, Muirfield Junior, which was Zhao himself, the FBI with Bob Reynolds, with Vanessa. There's obviously other players in this who are obviously bigger than Muirfield.
I get it now.
So that's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I didn't actually look beyond more than what I said.
So now...
It's not very confusing.
Now...
Can I sit down now?
Well, if you have to. But we're not going to be able to see you if you sit down.
I'll just wave and be honest. I've done my sciatic nerve in case anyone's wondering, and it's absolutely killing me to stand up straight.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read this out because this hit us on social media this week.
Look, I've got to say before you go on, for me, personally, I'm really, really jealous that you're the one reading this out.
Oh, okay.
Because it resonated inside me like no tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
agree.
wanted to jump up and down, yell, scream and shout, why doesn't everyone else get it?
Yes, I do agree.
Even though, at some points, it actually contradicts my epiphany.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So,
I think it'll help to put a lot of it into perspective. Now, there's a lot of reviewers out there.
Yes.
And there's one in particular from Ricky.org.
Yeah, he's very good.
And he's really, really good.
Yeah.
But he was the cause for the epiphany from this Swedish Beastie. Okay. Now, Swedish Beastie, Irene, we love you. And I got in contact with her and asked permission to read this out loud.
Smart woman.
And here it is. Now, she's called it Epiphany. Reading this recap was an epiphany to me. And the Ricky.org one is what she read.
Sure.
So, okay, I'll try not to play with your boobs. If that's all right. Okay.
Well, they're out there.
So what she's written here, I have always been a defender of the bigger picture. I've been positive that the writers knew where they were going with the story, even if I didn't like the turns they were taking. And episode 13 was bad. I really hated it the first time I watched it, but I've watched it a couple of times now, and I'm starting to change my mind a bit. And then I read this recap by Ricky.org, and eureka, I can truly see where the writers are taking us. The Who Am I themes suddenly got a deeper meaning. They are taking us through the different feelings that are necessary for a deeper relationship. Agreed. Totally. The first vital part of this season was about loss. Losing your memory, your identity. Vincent lost his memory, and that led to Catherine losing who she was, because her life was so invested in the old Vincent that when he turned out to be a different person, she lost her footing. He was her anchor, and she lost that. The next vital part was about control. Catherine tried to gain control over her life, to get the old Vincent back. And he tried, but he couldn't deliver what she wanted. He was able to control his beast in a way he couldn't before. They tampered with his DNA again, but the beast had also been altered. She also tried to gain control over her own history. Finding her father wasn't her father, and then getting to know a new father, and then be betrayed by him, left her even more out of control than ever before. Hence the inner turmoil. And then Tori came. Okay, you'll be back. And Vincent lost all control of his beast. At first he had absolutely no control. You have to come back. Because oddly enough, when you come into the screen, Janeen, the light gets brighter.
Oh, hang on.
All right, darling girl. You have to come back. You have to come back.
Okay,
see, that's way better. The light gets... See, you bring the light.
Seriously, don't do your sciatic nerve.
Yeah, I agree.
Go on.
Vincent lost all control of his beast when Tori came. At first he had absolutely no control whatsoever over what happened when she was close, and even less when she touched him. And we've talked about that.
Yes.
His human side tried to fight it, but together with the fact that Catherine's father blackmailed him to leave Catherine, he gave in to his beastly needs. And I've forgotten that. But his human kept fighting the beast, and although he did some very questionable things during this period, he slowly gained control over the beast again. At the end, before Tori died, he didn't react at all to her touch. And in brackets, Irene has written, somehow it's a pity that they didn't show us this journey. I think we would have seen the bigger picture much easier if we'd been allowed to follow him down this track. All right, we might not have liked the Vincent-Tori sex, but we might have got him better for what... or the influence that she had on him.
Yeah, but you didn't have to have sex to get that too.
True.
But I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and now we're at the third vital part, trust. And this is probably the paragraph that resonated. Catherine has always had trust issues. It took Vincent a long time to gain her trust in the first season, and now that trust has been shoved down the drain. She can't trust anyone. But she is surrounded by people who honestly care for her, and she's beginning to open up, to let people in. I think she's a very lonely woman. She lost her family and she lost Vincent. She doesn't trust anyone, not even Tess. And when you think about it, to a degree, but not totally. And that loneliness is what makes her start exploring the feelings she can sense from Gabe. He has been working very hard to show her that he's changed. He knows what he's done. I know you gag. He knows that he must make up for it, and he's been there for her all along. And I've got to admit, season 2, yeah, he has been trying to help her with Vincent at the expense of his own feelings, and she rightfully doubted him. He had a lot to make up for, but she's beginning to admit that she might be wrong about him. Too bad that she's using him as a guinea pig to test her trust abilities. I love that sentence too.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Vincent has also been struggling with trust. At the start of the season, he trusted his handler and he trusted himself. And then Catherine came along, throwing all that he knew upside down. With her entering the scene, he lost the life he knew, the life where he was in control and only had his missions to care about. It can't have been easy for him, and yet he gave his heart. He felt the connection with Catherine, but he didn't understand it. He tried and he failed, and he tried again, once again, failing. And he was betrayed by his handler, whom he trusted. And I think also he felt betrayed by Catherine when she shot him. Hello, that would be a game changer for me at that point as a boyfriend, or as a sort of. At that point, he didn't understand why she wouldn't let him kill the man that had ruined his life. And now he's trying again, this time with what seems to be most of his memories back, in brackets. Once again, too bad we weren't allowed to follow him down that track either. He is supporting Catherine in her choices because he knows and admits to his responsibility for what she has become. Another vital part is sacrifice. Vincent is sacrificing his own feelings because he loves Catherine so much and he only wants her to be happy. He sacrificed his feeling when Catherine's father blackmailed him. Tori sacrificed her life for Vincent. I think they could have saved her, but she didn't want to live because she could never get what she desired, because Vincent's heart belongs to Catherine, and there is absolutely nothing anyone can do to change this, and Tori knew that. Actually, this last 2 lines, she was there when he learned to control the beast. She saw how he fought, and she realised why he fought. I thought that was actually an exceptional sentence. Tori actually understood. So now I'm waiting for the last vital part, love, and I do believe that the writers will succeed in bringing that to us as well. Oh, and I just realised that I forgot one feeling they're also exploring. Guilt. Vincent feeling guilty for shoving Catherine. Reynolds feeling guilty for bringing beasts into the world. JT feeling guilty for what Vincent is. Gabe feeling guilty for what he's done. Vincent feeling guilty for Catherine's trust issues. And Catherine feeling guilty for mistrusting Gabe. Although in brackets, Irene does admit, I think they could show a lot more guilt from Catherine, but I doubt they will. Yes, I do see where they want to take us. And that's what this season is all about. It's about the journey, guys, to the end result, which is going to be Vincat coming soon.
And I know that we've always said we're going to do these episodes week by week.
Yep.
And we're going to analyse each episode. But it's becoming more and more obvious to me how important episodes prior to the one we're currently reviewing,
absolutely,
how important they are.
Yeah.
So I can only say to anyone that still doesn't get season 2, then just stop watching it. And just wait till it's all out, wait till it's all been shown, and then do a marathon hit in one weekend and watch the whole show. It's an amazing journey that we're all going on. It's an amazing show and the brilliant actors. And I have to say that I think, although a lot of people said that I actually believe that Jay Ryan did kick some goals and a few points in this episode, and I actually tweeted him as such.
Yes, he did.
But for me, the person that acted the most profoundly for me was Catherine.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Because it was what she wasn't saying that I was watching. And
I agree.
And I think if you watch her portrayal of Catherine in this redemption episode, even down to the point where she smiles because the doctor mistook her for being
Vincent's girlfriend,
and then the rueful smile when Vincent said, "Well, no, we're just friends." She was just like, "Okay, well, that's true."
Yeah.
But, in that look that she gave him, I got, yes, it's true, but did you have to tell him that?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I got. Did you have to tell him that? I was sort of
I was okay with being your girlfriend.
Fantasy being your girlfriend.
I've been mistaken for your girlfriend. So it's what Kristen Krug didn't say that I really got this weekend.
Yeah, I was exactly the same.
This episode.
Well, this episode, yeah.
So although Austin, you kick it out of the ballpark every every week with your
Oh, you had the best
one-liners,
lines. There's no doubt about
it. You know, we love you. You know how much we love you and respect you. Jay Ryan, once again, kicked goals and a few points. And in case anyone's wondering what that reference is, in Australian rules football, you get a point for missing the goal.
Yes, true.
I don't know any other sport that gives you a point for missing, but AFL does. Anyway, so, you know, kicked some goals and some points, but Kristen Crook, she just, she did it for me.
I got her this week.
Yeah.
Finally, I got her. This is her descent into beastly hell, or the human form of it. She has to go through it to come out the other side to realise, oh my God.
I was going to ask this question, but in watching the episode tonight, I actually got the answer. Okay. And I touched on this earlier before. Vincent can control his beast.
Yes.
But the ones that Sam/Tony Barnes is creating,
turning into beasts, yes.
He is saying to them that you won't remember what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay. Why? And how is he controlling it? Now, in the episode, he did say, which I caught today, but I didn't catch the other 100 times I watched it, it's a little bit, something a little extra I put in there. But to me, it still doesn't explain how he can control the beasts, but nobody else can. So why, when he said to Jacob, inject him, why did Jacob take that he meant Gabe and not Catherine, or not Vincent? Because it was a him.
Yeah, true.
So how is Sam controlling these beasts to the points where A, they do what he says, not what anyone else yells out to them.
Yeah.
And B, that they don't remember it.
Yeah. Mysteries to come. And
I'm looking forward to finding out what that means.
Carrie, in relation to you, yes, even though Gabe ostensibly doesn't seem bad at the moment, I think Catherine spurning him to go back to Vincent will turn Gabe bad. I think Gabe will get insanely jealous and want to get rid of Vincent and work, not perhaps with Bob, although maybe.
I think, but I don't think about Gabe. I actually don't really care what happens to him once he's out of Catherine's life and Catherine's back with Vincent.
Yeah, but he's going to be in the show and he's going to drive us nuts.
You know what? I don't really care.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Catherine's with
Look at the camera, darling.
Sorry.
And I'm losing our lights, so we're going to have to go.
Because Catherine's with Vincent, I don't care that Gabe's still in the show anymore.
Yeah, well, okay, there is that.
The character of Gabe.
Yeah, there is that.
I have to say goodbye. Fading. Oh, look.
See, if we come up close to the light, it's way, way better.
That's a bit scary.
Maybe that's all we need to do the whole thing. Anyway, Beasties, thank you for joining us on this unusual week. We're at the hotel where my daughter's having her 21st birthday. That's why it's been different. But we'll be back in a couple of weeks when episode 15 comes along.
Yep.
Catch me if you can. And
I would like to catch you, Vincent.
Things.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're expecting great things out of that episode. We've seen the previews. It's going to be hot. It's going to be very hot. It better be freaking hot, Catherine Ashton. We want, you know.
Look, even the hug is enough to, you know, see their back.
We just want.
It's a hug with a body, not just with the eyes. Anyway.
Exactly.
All right, peace out.
Bye.